listen, you know, we got the people in here, and man, um, but yeah, I mean, dude, like every time that I hear about this AJ Brown stuff, bro, I'm just tired of it, man. Listen, at the end of the day, whether he's here or not, man, I do think that Jalen Hurts is going to have a big year. I think people are really disrespecting him. I didn't like what Howard Roseman said. You know, Howard Roseman came out and said he didn't deny the reports about Jalen Hurts. You know, the reports, he said, oh, well, we got to talk to our players. What does that mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, your quarterback has been given so much disrespect by the media, and I didn't like the answer he gave. You know, whether it's true or not that, you know, Jalen Hurts has some struggles. Every quarterback has some struggles, you know, especially when you got Kevin Batulo running your offense, you know, who should have never been hired. You know, but yeah, that's just my thoughts on Des Eagle 90. I honestly, when I'm listening to Howard Roseman's press conference, I think we're gonna go defense. That is my prediction this draft. A lot of people think a tight end, man. A lot of people love Kenyon Sadiq, but I don't see us drafting a tight end in the first round.
I don't see us drafting a tight end.
No, and I think that you need defense. I think you need a safety. I think that the two biggest holes right now is safety and offensive lineman. I think that you need to get an offensive lineman, especially if, you know, Lane Dixon might not be back. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to say safety, a guard, and I would say edge rusher as well. Either Andrew, I would say, like, it depends what happens with Jalen Carter.
Yeah.
If he hasn't been paid already. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Go ahead.
Like Jalen Carter, I think he has a bright future, but there comes a time like he needs to like grow up.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. He makes like he makes some crucial decisions that really puts us in a tight situation. Not to throw the brother under the bus, but you just can't be doing that. I'm not going to say he was as bad as Sidney Brown, but he's up there though.
Bro, I am so glad that he is out of here, man. I don't got to worry about that man jumping over players anymore, man. I'm so glad. I told people Sidney Brown wasn't good. I told people he was going to get traded. I said we were going to trade Sidney Brown. Didn't I say that? I was wishing it, and I wished it, and I wished it, and it happened, man. I'm so glad he can go to the Falcons and jump.
That's why he went to the Falcons.
Yeah. He went to the Falcons. You know, saying slid his team. You know? No, but seriously, man, like I think that this is the year where we draft a safety or offensive lineman. I look at this, maybe an edge rusher, but it's like go ahead.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Well, I'm not entirely sure about safety because we didn't just draft Andrew Makuba last season.
Yeah, but we also lost Reed.
Why so many people forgot, huh?
We lost Reed this offseason too.
We lost Reed Blankenship, but that was most likely because Andrew Makuba was supposedly projected to be our future safety.
That's true.
Being as though C.J. Gardner-Johnson was also gone.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, is Marcus Ed still here?
Yeah, we did sign him back, but I think he would be for debt.
It might be for depth. Yeah, it probably will be. We probably will draft another safety, but
if I can get a Mick Warren from what's his name, Toledo, the same college as Quinion Mitchell, or you know, a lot of people have been talking about Dylan Thiemann from Oregon, or you know, if somehow some way Caleb Downs falls to the NFL draft, which I don't see him falling. You know, there's not many. I mean, there's also AJ Hosley from LSU. He's pretty good. There's Wheatley from Penn State. I like him, but there's not that many safeties. I personally, this is what I do. I would just keep what we have, go to draft and draft an offensive lineman, because I think that your bread and butter. I mean, what is your bread and butter? What is Howie's bread and butter? And this is where we got to go back to what Howard Roseman does. And everybody talk about tight end and this and that. It's great. Listen, I would love Sadiq. And of course, you add him with Deshaun Manuel offense, and like. You add him with, let's say, AJ Stage, you add this offense is going to be explosive. But it's like, when you look at it, you need an offensive lineman. I'm looking at a guy like Caden Proctor, a guy that can sit and learn from someone. Or you draft that guy from Penn State, you know? So, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think offensive lineman is a need. You know, you don't know what Cam Jerkins' future is. You know, he's been up and down. You know, I think he's still good. Do you trust Tyler Steen? I mean, you did sign Fred Johnson.
Honestly, I don't. At least not yet.
Yeah. I don't trust the Tyler Steen. I just don't. I don't think Tyler Steen is a guy that I can put around because he didn't really do that great. I didn't think so. But could it just be the fact that Kevin Batula was just trash and the whole offense just was horrible? You know?
Okay, without a doubt. Like, if people can't see the difference between Kellen Moore's offense versus Kevin Patullo, if people couldn't see the big difference,
yeah,
then I feel like that just says it right there.
Yeah.
Like, I'm surprisingly, I feel like I low-key feel excited for the Sean Mannion guy and the new guy that we brought to the office.
I'm excited too. I think this guy's going to come in there, and I think I think a lot of people are going to ask what they want. You know, everybody talk about Jim Hurts can't do this. Okay. You know, I've said this all along, man. When you have a head coach who has a prevent offense, what do we see in Hard Knocks? This 24-0. Don't give up don't let the ball get out of what do you say? He said don't let him take the ball away. You know, he preaches it every time. You know, take care of the ball and stuff like that. So it was like all Jalen Hurts has it is drilled in his head to not get the ball out of his hands and make smart decisions, which I get. Okay, I get that. But it's like when you're up by like 20 points and then you're in the second half and you're once again allowing teams to come back because your coach wants to play prevent offense instead of trying to go out there and put foot on their necks and continue to put points on the board. You know, I don't know, man. I think it hurts your quarterback. I think it hurts your quarterback's confidence. And I keep hearing this Justin Herbert stuff, and it's like, what does he want? You know, it's like at a certain point.
Is that what I think it is?
Who's that?
I'm looking at one of my old co-workers.
But yeah, man, we got two people in the chat. Listen, you usually do this on StreamYard, but StreamYard's been horrible, man.
That's fucking guy.
Yeah.
Got two people in the chat.
We got two people in the chat. You know, so hopefully y'all can hear me. Hopefully y'all can hear us. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I really don't care, man. Like, honestly, it's like the StreamYards are expensive, man. And honestly, it's like right now I'm almost close to getting my license, and once I can do that, I can go get a job, bro. Because I'm tired.
Yeah, for sure. Do that.
I've been making money by just, you know, not doing a 9-to-5 job. You know, my buddy already has a job lined up for me. My buddy, I'm not gonna put his name down. Dang. Shit. Oh, there you go. That's the Eagle season, man. Everything falling apart.
Hey, I gotta call you right back though.
All right, bro.
I gotta go to my job right quick.
All right.
Yeah. Hopefully I get back on the route right away. I'll definitely call you though.
You want to turn off the phone and you just call me back that way?
What happened?
You got to turn off the phone first. Last time you didn't turn off StreamYard.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Call me back real quick.
All right.
Mm-hmm. No, but seriously, man. Desi and I was gonna call us back, man. If you're new, hit that like button, man. I personally want an offensive lineman in this draft. I think offensive lineman is a need. It's also, I think that you need offensive linemen to help Saquon Barkley and Tank Bigsby. At the same time, I think that you need an offensive lineman. So if you can get an offensive lineman in the first round, you do that. You do that, man. And I think that's so important. I think that you need to build through the trenches. And that's how you do it. You build through the trenches by drafting offensive linemen, guys that can block, right? That's how we won the 2 Super Bowls. Everybody talk about Kenyon Sadiq, and I love Kenyon Sadiq. And listen, we draft them, I wouldn't be mad, but I don't see the Eagles going that way. When you listen to Howard's press conference, and I've been listening to them, I think offensive lineman is a thing that I think we're going to go for. I think that's the position we're going to fill. And we'll see what happens, though. We'll see what happens, man. I'm excited to see what this Eagles team is going to do. I'm excited to see what this Eagles team is going to become. You know, whether A.J. Brown or A.J. is here or not. Now, you know, Howie Roseman did say, you know, and it's interesting, the reporters keep on asking him, and he says the same thing. A lot of people say, oh, he didn't guarantee A.J. Brown was going to be here. Why would Howie Roseman say the same thing? He's already said it many times. A.J. Brown is going to be an Eagle. You know, now there's reports, oh, the Eagles are not going to trade him during draft day. Duh. You know, if you're going to trade A.J. Brown, you're trading him during June 1st, when there's not going to be a lot of dead cap hit that's going to fall on you when you decide to pull the trigger, whether they trade him or not. People thinking A.J. Brown was going to get traded before June 1st, it makes no sense. You got to look at the cap space, and you got to look at how much the cap hit would be if you trade A.J. Brown. You're taking a lot of money. You're taking a lot of cap hit with that trade. Anytime you trade a player like that, you also need a lot back from it. The Eagles are not trading A.J. Brown for no second-round picks. So you need to be able to get a lot from him, and I'm looking at it this way, right? If you don't get a 2027 first-round pick, I think it's disgraceful. And I think it also shows you this, too. Just because Howie Wilson trades A.J. Brown, or I'm sorry. Listen, also another thing. GMs get fired for making bad moves. My guy, A.K. Eagle, shot to him. He said this on with Philly halftime. I think it was last week. Go follow their collab that they do. Great two YouTubers that I collab with many times. Support to them. Howie Roseman could lose his job if he makes the wrong move. Let's say you trade A.J. Brown and he has 1,000-yard receiving a year, right? And he goes out there and wins the Super Bowl with whoever he gets traded to. You know, don't think that Jeffrey Lurie want to fire him. You know what I'm saying? No, do I think Jeffrey Lurie would actually fire Howie Roseman for making a move? No, I don't think so. But it could happen. We saw John Robinson getting fired. Why? He traded A.J. Brown. He didn't get a lot back from him. He drafted the wrong guy and got fired for it. You know, you got to make good decisions. And a lot of Eagle fans don't understand. You know, when you listen to a lot of Eagle fans talk about A.J. Brown, the way they treat him, the way they disrespect him, they remind me of Titan fans. And I got some notes for you because, you know, listening to these Eagle fans, let me make sure I get this right for them because this is what Titan fans were saying about A.J. Brown. Let me see if this is similar. Finally joining the team with a chance to win the Super Bowl over next. What do you say? Let's pull it up real quick. This is what the Eagle fans that I've seen say the same thing what Titan fans say. What performance? A.J. Brown was the 30th receiving yards last season. His 2 seasons prior to last would have him justify being paid a top 4 receiver. Titans offered him a good deal. His production will be replaced. The front office did you dirty, my guy. One of the Titan fans were respectful. How dare they not pay him twice? What a best running back in the league after playing in like 9 seasons. What else? You want to raise also performance given for the team. AJ Philly welcomes with open arms, good team. What's the other one? There's many more. Where's the here we go. Nobody's crying over the wash bum that's going to miss half of the season. He's overrated. This is what they said about Saquon Barkley, by the way. This is what so anytime they say Saquon Barkley was the reason why Jalen Hurts took him to the Super Bowl, remember, these were the fans that said otherwise. Can y'all see that? These were the fans that were saying otherwise. Here's more about A.J. Brown. These are Titan fans, by the way. And this what I don't understand. Enjoy your boy in Philly. Who else? What else? Wait until he gets chucked by a battery when he drops 2 balls in a row. What else? Glad the new cancer is gone. A.J. Brown will turn into Antonio Brown soon. L+ ratio still got a running back at quarterback. He's going to make some big hits the game. Titans going ahead hunt. The Eagle fans have been bashing A.J. Brown and they've been saying stuff like Titan fans have been saying. He's washed. He's not good enough. He's a cancer. All these Titan fans become Eagle fans overnight. And I don't think some of them been Eagle fans. I think some of them were Titan fans because their GM got fired and they were on the A.J. Brown train and they were trying to be an Eagle fan. And ever since we lost the Super Bowl, ever since we won the Super Bowl, they've been joining the Eagles. This is what they've been saying about A.J. Brown. And you just got to wonder, at the same time, A.J. Brown is a generational talent. I've said it all along. His offensive coordinator was Kevin Batullo. who was awful. And for people to give up on him and think that he's not good enough, I'm telling you right now, if you send him somewhere else right now with a good offense coordinator, he's going to ball out. Now, I've said it along, it's wherever A.J. Brown wants to go, that's fine. But we need the right compensation pick. I'm not trading for no third-round picks. I heard people say we should trade him for Max Crosby. That's ridiculous. I'm not doing that. I'm not trading for no Myles Garrett. I'm not trading him to the New England Patriots because it's his favorite team. I'm not doing that. I think that the best thing to do to make A.J. Brown understand that this is a business would be keeping him. And if he doesn't want to play, then you sit him on the bench. Is it much easier just to trade him after June 1st? Absolutely. But when it comes to who is the best player, and a lot of people are thinking that Devontae Smith is JSN. They don't play the same. They don't play the same. One is way faster than the other. Devontae Smith does not have the fast burners like Jason. We've compared everybody to everybody. Devontae Smith is Devontae Smith. Devontae Smith plays like Devontae Adams. A guy that's silky smooth, a guy that goes up and gets routes. He plays a little bit like Marvin Harrison. Okay, A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith work well together. I think that Wicks is going to be a replacement for Jahan Dotson. You remember, we lost Jahan Dotson in free agency. Jahan Dotson was a first-round pick. If we traded for Tyreek Hill, it'd be different. If we go and get Tyreek Hill, then I'll be like, all right, maybe A.J. Brown will be gone. But I'm not on the verge of trading A.J. Brown because, he's a cancer. I watched T.O. I watched him. I know how he acts. He's nothing like A.J. Brown. Nothing like A.J. Brown. And I'm tired of people disrespecting A.J. Brown. You got WIP and these clowns. By the way, embarrassing. Howard Eskins is on Twitter. And this goofball, look what this goofball said, man. I think people need to understand that this loser is out here defending Diane Rossini. He said Diane Rossini has been right about story after story. Before others on multiple occasions, including AJ, she's been good to us on the show. I am rooting for her at her next spot. I'm sure the first pockets will about 25 million downloads. Imagine you didn't have the same energy when one of your WIP hosts, who's a female, you didn't say anything about her. She was right. Well, that's funny because Twitter said otherwise. Aaron Rodgers desired to leave the Jets. She posted, Stefan Rosinski interested in an NFL head coaching job. And when you look at her story, the Texas coach agent refutes athletic claim of the NFL interest. She was wrong about that. She said that Kevin Stefanski was going to be the Eagles' offensive coordinator. Yeah. She got that wrong. Aaron Rodgers was supposed to go to the Vikings. She got that wrong. She got that wrong. She's been wrong ever since time. And here's the thing. Why are you vouching for someone? Because this is the problem with WIP. That's why I don't respect them. This lady literally went into the locker room and tried to destroy a locker room. Between the reports of what she said about Jalen Hurts, let's go back to last year. Diane Rossini come out and said Devontae and A.J. Brown were complaining. This was before the Vikings game. This was during the Broncos weekend. I remember that they were complaining. Devontae Smith was complaining that he wanted the football. This was before a game. This was during the morning of a Sunday morning when teams are there to try to prepare and get ready for a game. She throws out a report. The media has done so many disrespectful things to the Philadelphia Eagles between them bashing Jalen Hurts, Whether you like AJ or not, there's no reason why reporters should be throwing out nonsense before a game. You want to do that after the game? That's fine. You want to do that during Monday morning when there's nothing to talk about? That's fine. You want to do that during the combine? I'm sorry, the NFL bye week? That's fine. But when you do it before a game, I have an issue with that. Because when players or fans have to see that, it's a distraction. It's distraction. When is the NFL going to investigate A.J. Brown and the Patriots for tampering? Now you got Kevin Byard trying to recruit A.J. Brown. If it's not Mike Vrabel, it's Don Rossini. If it's not Don Rossini, it's the ESPN goofball that is on Get Up. What's his name? Jordan Schultz. If it's not Jordan Schultz, it's Adam Schefter. If it's not Adam Schefter, it's some goofball that's on Twitter making claims and putting HA profile pics of them in another jersey of New England Patriots or Chargers. It's something always with A.J. Brown, man. And A.J. has not said nothing. A.J. has not said nothing, and I condone him for not saying nothing. Because if he said something, people would twist his words. Howie Roseman says he's going to be an Eagle. You got YouTubers right now saying, I don't know if he's going to be an Eagle. What part did you not listen to Howie Roseman? Were you not listening to him? When they asked him, he said, what do you think the question going to be? Do you think it's going to be 50% that we trade A.J. Brown? Like they asked him, do you think we're going to trade A.J. Brown? He said, what do you think? Is it 50 or 75%? Pretty much it's not happening unless they get a lot for him. If the Eagles trade A.J. Brown, they're going to get a lot for him. They're going to get some of what Jalen Ramsey got. And I don't think any team is willing to give up a lot for what Jalen Ramsey got. So the A.J. Brown's not going nowhere. It's going to take a lot. Now, do I think the Rams wanted A.J. Brown? I'm glad Howie didn't pull that move. Because that would be stupid. I'll be mad. You know what I'm saying? Now, whether it was true or not, I'm not sending him to the Rams. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad Howie did not make that move, and I'm glad that deal fell short. But we got to understand something, man. Devontae Smith is a great receiver. But it's not easy to replace an A.J. Brown. Do I think we can win without him? Yes, I do. Do I think if A.J. Brown goes, do I think we'll still be great? Yes, I do. But I'm not the ones that are going to sit there and say, oh, A.J. Brown's a bum. Oh, we need to get rid of him. Then why do you want a first-round pick for him? If he's a bum, then why the hell would teams want to trade a first-round pick for him? Y'all guys run around here and you make no sense. I hear people say he's washed. He's washed. Oh, he's washed this. He's washed that. Jalen Hurts is a bum. He can't do this. Then I argue, well, what about these other quarterbacks? Like we keep bringing up the fact that Jalen Hurts has no contract extension. Well, Justin Herbert don't have one. Joe Burrow don't have one. Why are people not talking about that? These guys run around here thinking they're smart and they're not, man. And it's just upsetting. It's upsetting that people do this, and it makes me mad, honestly, the way they treat my quarterback. It makes me mad because I just don't understand the hate for him. You want Jalen Hurts to feel so bad just to prove your point. And a lot of people do want Jalen Hurts to see or be calling a dick rider, or they call it Jalen Hurts lover, or whatever they want to be called. No, it's just called we love our quarterback. Why wouldn't you like your quarterback? He brought a Super Bowl trophy. He's a Super Bowl MVP. And I just think it's crazy that people on WIP are out here defending a slut, out here defending a hooker. Well, not a hooker, defending a person who cheated. Imagine how our kids are feeling today. And the reason why we talk about Diane Rossini is because she's the one who's made enormous reports linking A.J. Brown to the Patriots. And she didn't do that. I want to give a shit what she did in her personal life. Do I think it's right? No. But she out here trying to start stuff, man. Linking him to the Patriots. linking him to Pittsburgh, linking him to the Baltimore Ravens. Then the way she treated her husband, who's an Eagles fan, saying that, oh, I don't want this to be a family thing about saying go Birds. She's an op. She's an op. And then you got WIP like Howard Eskins, Howard Eskins' son. Howard Eskins and his son are two dopes. One's on JK Media with Dan Cilio. We already know how he is. A goofball clown. These guys are out here saying Jalen Hurts can't do this. Well, explain to me why Jalen Hurts had his best year, why A.J. Brown had his best year in Philly. A.J. Brown has never had an all-pro in Tennessee. It's never happened. But they want to convince you that Jalen Hurts is a bum. Look at this report. Now we get this report. Look what they do, man. Look what they, first thing I pull up, man. First thing I pull up. Y'all see that? First thing I pull up. What does that say? It says, star Eagles wide receiver A.J. Brown is unlikely to be moved on draft night. You made a report about something that was not going to happen because you're desperate for views and you're desperate for likes. The media has turned a 180 on being fake more than real. And it's disgusting. You out here reporting A.J. Brown trade draft day is unlikely. Duh. Why the hell would we trade A.J. Brown during draft day? This ain't the Tennessee Titans. We're not looking to trade A.J. Brown. Why do people think we're trying to trade A.J. Brown? The Eagles have said many times they don't want to trade A.J. Brown. Whether A.J. Brown wants to leave or not, that's not up to him. It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. The Philadelphia Eagles are being pushed and being criticized for not trading A.J. Brown. They're trying to push an agenda to move A.J. Brown physically from our team. And trying to do everything they can to make us force us to trade A.J. Brown when we don't want to. And I think it's nasty work from the media, man. And you got guys like Howard Eskins. This weirdo is out here, again, saying Diamond Senior has been right. You out here making statements like this, bro. What are we doing? Hold on, can y'all read that? Can y'all read that? Look at this, man. Diamond Senior has been right about story after story. What? Imagine being the clown and now here trying to defend a female that's been literally sleeping with Mike Vrabel to try to lower the value for her receiver that's in Philadelphia. You must hate the Eagles that much when you're going against trying to get rid of one of our best receivers. You're not with us. You're against us. Donnie Senior's been right. She said that A.J. Brown was getting traded during the trade deadline last year. Her reports have been saying A.J. Brown was getting traded in the offseason. We're in April. She said in March he was getting traded. A.J. Brown was supposed to be a New England Patriot right now. He was supposed to be in New England during March. During the trade deadline. According to her. It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. And these people out here saying she's been credible. Every story, but others on multiple occasions, including AJ. She's been wrong about AJ. She's been wrong about AJ. You were literally one of them other people that I've seen that will talk about AJ Brown being traded during the deadline because of her. And you were wrong. And it's embarrassing how Twitter has this to say about you and your credible source that you say she's been right. She's been right. Don Rossini has been published numerous false reporting, including Aaron Rodgers' desire to leave the Jets. Steve Savansky interested in the NFL head coaching job. I'm sorry, Starsky's, what's it say? Starzinski, whatever his name is. I didn't even know who that was. Max Crosby proposed a trade contract. George Kittle desired to become the NFL highest paid tight ends. When Twitter is calling you out for being a liar, you should just delete your Twitter account. Imagine being so thirsty to support a female that cheated on her husband and then go and sleep with Mike Vrabel, who's been the enormous source of wanting to get rid of A.J. Brown. Do you think she's doing it because she respects the Eagles? Or think she's doing it because she wants the Eagles to be suffering? She complained her Eagles fan husband was too loud and obnoxious for saying "Go Birds." Do you think that she's trying to make the Eagles successful? Or do you think she's trying to make the Eagles lousy and bad so he won't have to say "Go Birds" as much? Let's really think about it. Let's really think about it. Does trading A.J. Brown help us or does it hurt us? I think it hurts us. Now, is he replaceable? No. Can we still win without him? Yes, if it has to be that way. But does A.J. Brown make our offense better? Yes, he does. But you're so clowned out and goofied out that you don't even know what you be talking about most times. You're the one who's saying you would trade Jalen Hurts for draft picks along with you and Joe Gigolo. And I'm rooting for her at her next spot. What next spot? She will never ever be allowed to be a journalist ever again. She had to resign because how bad it was. She's done. Her career is over with. Her career is over with. She lost her right to be a journalist. No one is going to hire her back. No one. Who is going to take the spot other than Jacob Media? And maybe y'all. Y'all might hire her. Yeah, WRP might hire Diane Rossini as the next Ellie Parks. Imagine saying you're going to root for her at her next spot. I'm sure. I mean, you should go and be with her. You both are perfect for each other. You're both clowns. You're both fake. You're both fake. You both are not real. You out here saying stupid shit. You should go see if she will hit you. Maybe you should go do a podcast with her. And leave WIP. Because who the hell listens to you? It's ridiculous, man. Imagine being this sad that you got to defend someone who doesn't even know who you are. It's ridiculous, man. When Diane Rossini published numerous false reports, this was reader added context. They literally said to Spike Eskins down below that you've been false. You're false claiming. And people want to sit there and act like this guy is Philadelphia. Unbelievable. It's an absolute joke what this WIP media has done. It's sickening. It's absolutely sickening that we have this going on. And I just don't get it. I don't understand it. I think it's ridiculous, man. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. Oh, my phone. Yo. Are you back? You back?
Yeah, I'm back.
All right.
Yeah, I'm making my drive. Just started driving.
Yeah, no. So yeah, we were just talking about how Spike Eskins pretty much was defending Diane Rossini, and then the enormous context down below said she was false claiming things too. I mean, dude, Spike Eskins, Howard Eskins are the two most, like father and son. They both should join the circus. That's how bad they are, man. That's how bad they are, bro.
Wait, say that again because you cut. No, say that again because you were cutting off.
So yeah, Spike Eskins today said that. Let me read that real quick for you. Spike Eskins went on Twitter. I don't know if you saw his Twitter page. He was defending Diane Rossini. he defended Don Rossini and said, quote, this is what he said. Don Rossini has been right about every story. About every story and every story. Before others on multiple occasions, including A.J. Brown. She's been good to us on the show. I'm sure she was. And I'm rooting for her at her next spot. I'm sure the first podcast will get about 25 million downloads. And then the community notes down below says that they actually said he was false. Don Rossini has been published numerous false reporting, including Aaron Rodgers decided to leave the Jets. Steve Sarzinski interested in the NFL head coaching job. Max Crosby proposed a trade contract. George Kittle desired to become the NFL highest paid tight end. That was Twitter saying that he was wrong. Imagine being so thirsty that you're out here defending someone. But I didn't see you defend that female that was fired in WIP. What's her name? That was fired on WIP. What's her name? She was one of the WIP females. What's her name? Hold on, let me look her up. What's her name? Devin Caney was the most popular Eagles sideline reporter. Devin Caney was let go from Sports WIP, 94 WIP in Philadelphia, part of the round of the layoffs. You know what I'm saying? But they kept Howard Eskins. And they kept Joe Gigolo, who said we should trade Jalen Hurts for draft picks.
They're always going to keep people that's going to rage bait and bring more callers, more viewers. They're always going to do that. At this point, it's not even about who's like really talented.
Yep.
Who knows about the team inside and out? Because if that's the case,
Yep.
I mean, I don't know. I just feel like the Philly sports media is not even like about Philly or like that anymore. It ain't about the Philly culture. It ain't about like it's nothing positive about sports radio WIP. I mean, I respect Rhodes on there, but everybody else. I mean, honestly, Rhodes was better off running his own platform.
Yeah.
Hugh Douglas, always going to love that guy, but I mean, with all due respect to the OG, he's really sold himself out. I would say him. Honestly, what's that other guy named Ike Reese? That's what.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like these guys can do way better. That's
Absolutely.
how much this WIP has fallen off.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, but you know when you're out here defending Don Rossini, and the reason why we talk about him, like my guy AK, and I respect his opinion. Well, I don't care what she does. It's not about what she did. It's the fact that she was literally talking about AJ Brown constantly. She was linking him to the Pittsburgh Steelers. She was linking him to the Patriots. She was linking him to all these other teams. And then she was pushing an agenda between her saying that Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown were getting angry at Jalen Hurts. Between her disrespecting Jalen Hurts, saying that the players are frustrating the organization. You know, stuff like that. And then you got these beat reporters out here doing the same thing. You know, Jeff McClain, who was called by Fletcher Cox a clown. We're going to listen to him now. Come on. When a player is calling you a clown or doesn't refuse to speak to you and pretend that you're not even existent on the press conference, why should we take you seriously?
That was funny though, him pretending the guy don't exist. That was hilarious.
Because he's a clown, man. You out here talking about you out here telling a player, oh, do you think Nick Sanders is going to get fired? First of all, he's not even going to probably be back, and he's a free agent. So why would you sit there and ask him? You don't ask him that. You go to the GM. You know, asking Howie Roseman, do you think A.J. Brown's going to get traded? If Howie Roseman's, why would you think Howie Roseman was going to sit there and say, yeah, we're going to trade A.J. Brown? Why would he even tell you that? Then all the trade, all the trade ammo that you probably could get for A.J. Brown goes out the window because you just gave your hand to the other teams for them to understand what you're going to do now. You don't even go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. I just felt like at this point, I might have said this in your last stream, but unfortunately, I know you had to take it down.
No, I just put it on private.
The best way, on private, yeah. I feel like the best way to deal with sports radio WIP, even 97.5 The Fanatic. Sometimes the best way to respond to these guys is don't engage with them. Stop giving Stop giving them your precious time. Stop giving them your view. Stop giving them, like, just watch something else.
Yeah.
Like, watch Jenny Craig or whatever you gotta watch. Watch anything other, like, watch. This is my advice to anybody that's watching. Watch you if you wanna know about Eagles content. I mean, if you want to know about Eagles football, you want to know what's going on. Watch this guy. Watch Ec1. Watch Lord Brunson. Watch Philly 500.
They won't watch
Joey
me.
Shakes, Cool Cat Connor, Mitch. Watch all of them. Watch the real fans.
Yeah.
That's going to give criticism where it's deserved, and that's going to tell you. That's going to tell you how it is. Watch them. Stop watching these clowns on the fucking radio. It's like
ridiculous.
I literally stopped for the first time. I followed these guys for almost like 20 years. Or ever since like I had to be like super young. When my dad was like always going around my dad or whatever. For the first time, I literally decided to stop tuning into them.
Yeah. It's the jokes. The jokes. I mean, you got Joe Giglio sitting there saying that he would trade Jalen Hurts for draft picks. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. What quarterback are you possibly going to get?
Who's going to work well behind him? Who's going to work behind Jalen Hurts?
Well, the whole notion is Tanner McKee is going to somehow turn into Nick Foles, and we're going to go to 2 Super Bowls. You know what I'm saying? Like we're going to be okay.
Very few games, and so has Nick Foles in a way.
Yeah.
Like Nick Foles never played a full season.
Yeah.
So it's not really fair to say, if you want like Nick Foles. I will get Nick Foles tatted on me. Anybody that wins us a Super Bowl,
absolutely.
I would gladly get their number tatted onto me.
Yeah.
Because that's how much I love and rock with this team.
Absolutely.
But let's keep it a buck here. The man has never played a full season. So it's not fair to say, we're going to be the next Nick Foles.
Yeah. I mean, Nick Foles never played a full
season.
season.
Next Ron Jaworski, sure. But Nick Foles, the man's never played a full season.
This is my problem with people who say, I'm just saying what I feel like. Okay, you'll have your opinion. If you don't like Jalen Hurts, I get it. Well, personally, I don't understand how you wouldn't like him. But if you don't like Jalen Hurts, that's fine. I'd rather you say you just don't like Jalen Hurts. But don't sit there and make up stuff saying he can't throw or this, that. When we seen him throw the ball. Like, we seen him throw the ball. We seen him in 2023 have one of the worst defense in Sean Asai and was 10-2. You know what I'm saying? We seen where Josh Allen had to get his office coordinator fired and Ken Dorsey because he was throwing so many interceptions. The narrative is he had threw more interceptions and he was the number one leading interception. That's not true. Because the guy that was the number one interception machine was Patrick Mahomes in 2023. Josh Allen was number 2 and Justin Herbert was number 3 and Burrow was number 4. So what are we talking about? But these people were throwing narratives.
On the top 5 of INTs. Or the bottom 5 or you know what I mean.
Yeah.
He wasn't even on that. He wasn't even top 5, maybe 10, maybe. But I'll tell you this though. But when Jalen Hurts at one point was leading INTs, that's all they were talking about. That's all they talked about.
They got no narrative.
That's all they talked about.
They're gonna run out of excuses when this guy balls. I'm telling you right now, Jalen Hurts gonna have an MVP year. He's going to have an MVP.
I don't even care. Listen, the only MVP I want is the Super Bowl MVP.
I'll
To
take
hell
that.
with that top 100. That's nothing more than a popularity. That's all that is.
He's going to be in the conversation
As far
for
as
MVP.
I don't care about that. I don't care about Offensive Player of the Year. I don't care about Coach of the Year. That's nothing more than a popularity contest, a season accomplishment. I want Super Bowls.
Yeah.
I want to be a dynasty.
Yeah.
So they can have all that glazing season accomplishments all they want. I want the ring.
Like,
Go ahead. I'll talk too much. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead. Finish what you got to say.
Jalen Hurts can win 3 rings, which I can see that happen. Jalen Hurts can win 3 rings. He can even find the cure to cancer, and he's still going to be hated.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No. I mean, he reminds me of Chris Sims. I'm not Chris Sims. Phil Sims. Chris Sims' father. You know, everybody disrespected Phil Sims. Phil Sims wasn't the real reason why the Giants won. You know, these quarterbacks that they like, even when I did my research, like, did you know Joe Montana was labeled as a guy that had a noodle arm coming out of college? And a lot of people disrespected Joe Montana. You know, they looked at guys like John Elway. They looked at guys like Dan Marino. They looked at guys like Brett Favre. All these other quarterbacks that were coming in there that would turn over the ball nonstop, that weren't getting it done. You know, John Elway only got it done when he had a team around him that was stacked. You know, he had elite defense, one of the best safeties, the best running back in Terrell Davis. You know, and you look at these other quarterbacks, and now we went from it was a thing to it was great to win a championship, and you got credit off winning Super Bowls. When you won a Super Bowl MVP, you were labeled as one of the top quarterbacks. Now it's since Jalen Hurts won it, it don't matter anymore. He's Trent Dilfer. Like I keep hearing this. I keep hearing this stupidity. I swear to God, someone else says it one more time. He's Trent Dilfer. Trent Dilfer never won a Super Bowl MVP. Why do people repeat so idiotic, stupid statements? Or he's Russell Wilson. Well, his projection of his comp was Russell Wilson. And when did Russell Wilson become a bad quarterback? When Russell Wilson was playing in the NFL, he was one of the elite quarterbacks, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So
like we missed out on him.
You know what I'm saying? Like, explain to me when did Russell Wilson become a bad thing to have? Well, when did we start saying guys like Russell Wilson is a thing that we shouldn't have won? You know, and when did Trent Dilfer go to 2 Super Bowls and win a Super Bowl MVP? Like, if your quarterback didn't win because Sam Darnold was in your way and you couldn't beat Sam Darnold with your quarterback, you should just stop talking. Because that's embarrassing. You let Sam Darnold, out of any other quarterback, win a bowl.
It's laughable. If you want to talk about who got carried, Sam Darnold got carried. He wasn't even all that impressive in the Super Bowl.
He wasn't even the Super Bowl MVP.
Sam Darnold got carried.
No.
Huh?
The Super Bowl MVP's in Kansas City.
Yeah. It is.
But people want to show the Sam Darnold holding Lombardi and say, well, Jalen Hurts has only a Super Bowl. No, but Jalen Hurts has a Super Bowl MVP. A Super Bowl MVP holds more weight than MVP.
And he outperformed Patrick Mahomes. Go ahead.
No, I mean, and then you got this guy, and I keep bringing him up because he keeps on making videos constantly. This Bill fan who's on, you know what I'm talking about, the IG guy that always make videos. He over there telling me on my DM, right? He telling me, you just saying stuff. Josh Allen was MVP. I said, how many Super Bowls did he win? He's like, well, you know.
I don't give a fuck about MVPs.
And I said, did you even win your division? Did you even win your division, sir?
I can't go that way.
Like, come on, bro. The Bills didn't even win a division. You allowed the Patriots to win the division over y'all. And you lost to Bo Nix. You lost to Bo Nix. And then we watched May, like, they want to talk about Jalen Hurts' playoff game. Didn't stay the backup of the Broncos. Didn't he struggle? Didn't May struggle against the Broncos backup? He only could score, 13 points, 30 points in the whole game? It was 3-0? Come on, man. Mm-hmm. You couldn't even blow the team out that had a backup. Your quarterback wasn't even moving the ball. And then he goes out and has one of the worst performances in the Super Bowl, man. What are we talking about, bro? Like, the disrespect to my quarterback has been so... I've never seen another quarterback that's even not as I've been watching football since 2004, watching McNabb. I've never seen I don't think Brady's ever been disrespected like Jalen has been. I don't think he's ever been disrespected like that. I've never seen a quarterback being so disrespected. It's like they hate the fact that he did what other quarterbacks can't do. And now the excuse is, well, Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl. Well, Trent Dilfer, I keep hearing that, and it's like, I don't mean to disrespect special needs kids, but are they special needs when they open their mouth and say stuff like that? Because that's stupid. Trent Dilfer never won a Super Bowl MVP. You saying stuff that makes no sense, it has no context of bearing at all. All you doing is just saying stupid stuff. Show me Trent Dilfer going to 2 Super Bowls. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. Or Nick Foles won a Super Bowl MVP. Nick Foles is a backup, though. Like, I'm just tired of hearing it.
Nick Foles was a backup. Yeah, he's a backup. And pretty much got hurt.
Yeah.
And now I think about it, both of them guys pretty much... Nick Foles kept on par with the GOAT of the last generation. Meanwhile, Jalen Hurts outperformed the days go not once but twice. So we're not going to just downplay somebody's Super Bowl MVP because, one, he's black. Let's keep it a buck here. It has a lot to do with race.
Oh, absolutely.
And two, because he's an Eagle. I don't want to be that guy making about race. But
I'm going to keep it real.
Y'all don't make this thing. Y'all don't, not you. Yeah, not you.
No. Yeah.
But they don't.
Yeah, a lot has to do with because he's a black. Yeah.
These other guys that are quote unquote flawed, huh?
He's a black quarterback.
He's don't hold on to these other guys. Yeah, that's called for what it is. It's black.
He's the first Eagles black quarterback that brought us a Lombardi Trophy. I didn't see McNabb do that. And McNabb had plenty of opportunities. I don't want to hear about he didn't have weapons. He had Brian Westbrook. He had Deuce Stanley. I mean, even if his weapons weren't as great, he had elite defense. He had elite offense line with Trent Thomas. What's his name? John Runyon. Yeah. Like, what are we talking about? The best kicker in football, and David Akers.
Yep.
So it's like when I look at the defense. Yeah, go ahead.
No, he had his fair share of weapons. As a matter of fact, I honestly think our previous generation. No, I mean not previous generation. You know, the 2004 Eagles. I think they would definitely give last year's Eagles a run for their money. I mean, being as though they were much more physical. I mean, like, football was different back then.
What, in 2024?
Like, football was different. Football was different back in 2004.
Oh, absolutely.
Football was hella different. So that's what I'm saying, like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, they're like, you know, the T.O. days, McNabb, the Brian Dawkins.
Yeah.
Bro, like.
Now, you put him on Jalen Hurts' offense, and how many Super Bowls you think he would win? Just saying. You know, and I keep saying this, man. I think that this head coach, did you see the way Nick Sirianni looked miserable in the press conference? I don't think Nick is going to have any control, and I'm glad he's not, because guess what? We're going to find out if it is Jalen. Because I'm tired of hearing the narrative, oh, it's Jalen Hurts. It's Jalen Hurts. He can't run an offense. Nick is the real reason. Okay, we're going to find out, because I'm telling you right now, Jalen Hurts goes off. Then it's just going to show me the head coach was the real reason. And it's going to piss me off, too, because I used to respect Nick because Nick also brought a lot of things that he hasn't done now. Like, he used to be good at making decisions that were best for the team. When you're literally sending players out for a third seed, when you have a chance to get the number 2 seed, and listen, if there was a difference if the 2 seed was officially over and you couldn't get it, I get that. But when there's a chance to get the number 2 seed and you have a chance to play the Green Bay Packers, who are more unfit to be playing than the 49ers, you go for that number 2 seed. That is a good coach. Your coach was, you know, him sending players out. Okay, if you want to send players out, that's fine. But why are you playing Devontae Smith then? Why are you playing Jalen Hunt then? Why are you playing Jordan Davis then? If you were going to sit players out, you don't play certain players and then sit everybody else down. You know what I'm saying? And I think that playing Devontae Smith, you know, was stupid because it was mixed signals. You know, the same guy that said he wouldn't allow Saquon Barkley to get those 200 yards or 100 yards left, but you're able to give Devontae Smith his 1,000 yards as a receiver. And I get it, they're two different positions, but it's a similar thing that you said one thing, but you won't do with the other. You know, I don't care if Devontae Smith had his yards. You know, if we're going to sit every player down, then sit every player down. You bring inflatable bunnies into the goddamn locker room. These are grown men. You know, and in Hard Knocks, you're out here smiling and giggling. You know, your players out here are talking about if they're going to crash a plane. And the real reason what they were saying was, if you listen to concepts, what Devontae and AJ and Jahan Dotson were saying was this offense is crashing like a plane. This offense is not getting going, and they were getting tired of it. So they were joking around. They weren't taking it seriously. They weren't. There was no leadership. When you looked at Hard Knocks, there was nobody. Where was the head coach when A.J. Brown was on Twitch? Why was Jeffrey Lurie out there with A.J. Brown saying, hey, bro, you got to chill out, man? You know what I'm saying? That's the head coach job. And that is why I get mad at the Sirianni fans. Well, he's the most winning record. Cool, but what is his record when Jalen Hurts goes down? What is his record? Can he be able to adjust and give guys like Minshew a chance to win? We've seen Gardner Minshew. We've seen him go 0-2 with Minshew. We've seen him versus Kenny Pickett as his quarterback. He couldn't win a game with Kenny Pickett. He won 2 games with McKee, and that was more of Kellen Moore. But we saw him with McKee last year, and they couldn't do anything. It was the same thing we saw him with the same thing we saw with Jalen Hurts. Throwing the ball to your right side. This is what you're taught. This is not Jalen Hurts. This is what this is what he's taught to do. If there's not any play, you throw the ball away. Not try to go and make a play. Not try to make something out of nothing. Not try to, keep the play alive. No, throw the ball away. He preaches that. But people want to sit there and, oh, it's Jalen Hurts. Oh, it's Jalen Hurts. Come on, man. I don't think Josh Allen would be able to succeed with this offense. I don't. Bills fan here, stop crying. At least you have won. Shut up, man. You a Bills fan. Shut up. How a Bills fan going to come on my chat and tell me to stop crying? Buddy, you a Bills fan. We're crying because we have a chance to go to a Super Bowl, something you don't know nothing about. If you're a Bills fan, you should just shush and let winners talk. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate you for coming in, but we don't need a Bills fan's perspective. We don't care what a Bills fan has to say at all. Your quarterback, you need to worry about more of your quarterback winning in the postseason. That's what you need to worry about. I like how a Bills fan gonna tell me to stop crying. You know what I'm saying? You a Bills fan. Don't you got a Bills streamer to go to? You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate you for coming on, but I disagree with you. I'm crying because our head coach is a moron.
Wait a minute. A Bills fan?
Yeah,
Tell us to
we have
stop
a Bills
crying?
fan in here, man. No.
No. I want to hear that very clearly. A Bills fan is trying to tell us to stop crying?
Yeah, you see it.
I mean, wasn't your quarterback just crying on the podium for everybody to see after they lost?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Trying to tell us to stop crying, bro. Don't come on here trying to tell us to stop crying. Your quarterback, your quote-unquote top 5 quarterback was literally on here crying. And he's a big reason.
The biggest crybaby, man.
They fired Sean McDermott?
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Like, I lost more respect for that quarterback.
Especially when you
way more respect for him after that.
It's not even the fact. It's the fact that there's no Patty Mahomes, no Burrow. Since you want to talk about my team, let's talk about your quarterback. Your quarterback can't beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. Your quarterback can't beat our quarterback, and he's 0-2 against our quarterback in both times.
Talk about, man. I'm done talking about Josh Allen, man.
You know what I'm saying?
They Glazers more fucking doing up there crispy. I'm fucking.
Yeah. I just think it's just how a Bills fan comes out of nowhere. You're probably a pretend Bills fan. You ain't a Bills fan. Ain't no Bills fan gonna come and try to check an Eagles fan. He said, Bills fan here, stop crying, at least you won.
Way too many fans, man.
He said, at least you have won.
John, more fucking than a few. Way more nerve than some people going bonkers and shit.
Hey, listen, I'll tell this Bills fan something. When you win a Super Bowl, your goal is not to stop winning. Your goal is to continue to win. Especially when you got an elite receiving core and elite talent, and you got a head coach who thinks he's above what he's supposed to be, and he thinks he's all that, and he's really not. You would understand the pain, but you don't know what it's like to win. So sit back and just stop talking. Because I like how, like, for example, Brown fans come in and they say, at least you won. Why are you complaining? Because if you were a Browns fan, you actually won a Super Bowl, and then the next few years you saw a decline from what you were, and you saw your team being the same way where it's able to win, and you got a head coach who's completely has made sure you can't win because of the things he does on the field and off the field and things he does as unprofessional, you will understand my pain. But you don't know what it's like to win because you never won a championship. The hunger, the dedication to winning, it's something you're fueled every year, and the things that we have had because of this head coach is disgraceful. There should be no reason why Sam Darnold should be sued. The Seahawks, I want the Seahawks week 1. Because I'm tired of them talking. They over there pumping their chest, talking about we're not. Bro, we would have smoked y'all if we had a decent offense coordinator, not even a decent, an average offense coordinator, better than Kevin Butler. We beat the 49ers and we beat Seattle in Seattle. I have no doubt about it. We beat Chicago in Chicago. Because I'm sorry, Caleb Williams did not impress me at all. The things he was doing, yeah, it would have been a beating for him. But there's things that I just didn't like what my coach is doing. You know what I'm saying? When you're literally putting your quarterback in shotgun every single time. And you've been around Jalen Hurts since the day he's been an Eagle. You know what I'm saying? You were the rookie head coach under Jalen. You know You know what I'm saying? But we got people defending Nick and over there talking about, well, then maybe he needs to draft his own quarterback. No, maybe he needs to be a better coach and understand his quarterback has limitations, and that's fine. But you exploit their strengths and not their limitations. Every quarterback has limitations. Not just Jalen. Josh has limitations. We've seen it. Him turn over the ball. Him not making good decisions. You know what I'm saying? Patrick Mahomes has limitations. When he doesn't have a good offensive line, especially in the Super Bowl, he folds. He starts getting hesitant. You know, he starts making bad decisions. Lamar Jackson, same way. So, again, how is a head coach supposed to be this greatest coach, right? We hear about his winning percentages. That's cool and fine. But what is your winning percentages when Jalen Hurts not there? Are you still successful? Because last time I checked, you have not won a game without Jalen Hurts, unless it was Tanner McKee. And you struggled with Tanner McKee last year with Kevin Patullo. So I'm just thinking maybe it's more Kellen Moore and Shane Steichen, the reason why your offense was succeeded without Jalen Hurts for a couple games. And you haven't won a game without Jalen Hurts, really. Jalen's been the reason why Nick has had that winning record. I think he's been the reason why we've been to the 2 Super Bowls. I don't think Nick has done anything. I think he's more of the Barry Switzer head coach type role, where I think he's a good leader. He's a good locker room leader, right? But it's like when things get tough, where's Nick at? He's good when you need a locker room leader, when you're a new team that needs someone to come in there and teach these guys how to be players. He can do that. But when things get tough, when he's backs against the wall, Nick is nowhere to be found. And that's the problem I have with Nick. He's great when you need a new coach. If you need a coach like a Harbaugh or it's Nick Sirianni that can come into your locker room, that you need a guy that can be a vocal leader, he can do that. But when things get tough, when you're winning championships and you need a coach that can continue to fight for you, that is saying, guys, we need to continue to do what we're doing. Let's come on. They don't believe in him. They don't believe in him. And I think you saw that on the field with A.J. Brown, the way he was yelling at him. If your receiver respected you the way you thought he would, he wouldn't be screaming at you on the sidelines, regardless of what you think. You know? But yeah, I appreciate for the Bills fan to comment on telling me what I should not do. Go worry about your quarterback not choking in the playoffs, man. Respectfully. This is about winners over here. You know nothing about winners, respectfully. I'd rather have a Super Bowl quarterback than a stat pat. Yeah. Well, I mean, this the problem with some Eagle fans. They'd rather have a Justin Herbert. If it means having 4K stat yards and not winning the championship, they're okay. That's why they love McNabb so much. And McNabb was a good quarterback. The problem with McNabb was he was a selfish guy. Look, his diva mentality, the way he comes off. You know, he wasn't winning in big games. And he made a lot of bonehead decisions in playoff games, including the one where he threw a pick right to the Buccaneers player. You know? So it's like, again, like, you could be the greatest stat pad quarterback in the NFL, but the job is not done until you win that Lombardi. That's how I look at it. And I keep saying this is why I don't care about regular season. I look at postgame. What have you done for me in the postseason? When I have Cowboy fans telling me over and over again, Dak's a winner in the MCs, what does he want? Because that's my check. Dak is 2-5 in the playoffs and can't get it done when the games are in the playoffs. He lost to Jordan Love. And he got Cowboy fans out here saying he played great. I watched the game. He played like trash. Stop saying he played great. You're lying through your teeth. You know what I'm saying? They're out here trying to think
Cowboys fans, that's what they do at best.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They came and paid the receiver. They over there talk about A.J. Brown not being here. They might not have George Pickens. They are here to talk about if they want to trade him or not. They don't know if they're going to be able to pay George Pickens.
He might survive another season. He just got franchise tag.
That's cool, but if I'm the Dallas Cowboys, I mean, honestly, like, bro, like, if I was the Dallas Cowboys, this is what I'd do. I want to go defense. I'd go offensive line. Because I don't think their offensive line has been great. I don't. I think they need to go offensive line, or I think they need to shore up that offensive lineman, especially because how many times have we seen Dak Prescott be on pressure? But again, he wasn't good last year. They wanted to with their defense. I've seen many times where their offense wasn't even scoring points. That's not on the defense. I saw many times where the defense was giving them chances. The Vikings game, the Cardinals game, you lost to Brissett because Dak couldn't score points. But it's the defense fault. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing and another. I'd rather have a Super Bowl than McNabb and Carson Wentz. Yeah. Well, Carson Wentz was another one, selfish. And I'm sorry, give me Jalen Hurts. That's not going to throw a lot, but gives me a Super Bowl chance every time. And he's going to go out there and play his best in the Super Bowl and in the playoffs. The thing that Jalen Hurts has that the other quarterbacks don't have is three things. Doesn't turn over the ball. It's consistent, makes smart decisions. Those are big. Those are big, and we've seen it last year with C.J. Stroud. We saw this with Josh Allen. We saw this with Lamar Jackson. I'm not Lamar Jackson. He didn't make the playoffs. Neither did Patty. Justin Herbert. These guys weren't smart decision makers. They turn over the ball regularly. They weren't efficient in the pocket. They were not even efficient in the pocket. They weren't making smart decisions. They would turn over the ball, and they weren't being good enough to be the guy that can, make one good throw or two to win the game. But they want to sit there and say they're better than Jalen Hurts. C.J. Stroud was horrible. He was the worst quarterback in the playoffs. The man should have beaten the Patriots. There was no reason why C.J. Stroud should have lost that game. But he was that bad. But you remember, Des Eagle-Nadi, he was better than Jalen Hurts. But he can't be, he threw how many interceptions? 5 interceptions? Him and Justin Herbert were tied as the worst playoff quarterback in the AFC. It's sad. It's sad, man. I don't get it. I don't know why people have the knack to attack Jalen Hurts. I think it's ridiculous, honestly. And you know what? People are going to eat their words, man. People are going to eat their words. Bro. But I'm excited to see what the Eagles are going to do in the draft.
You ain't got no haters, bro. You ain't got no haters. You just ain't doing it right.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is.
I'm interested to see what the Eagles are going to do in the draft. I think we're going to go off. This is my prediction. I mean, whether what we do or not, I know Howard Wilson's going to cook again. I told people in the free agency, nothing. What did I say this going on? What did we say? We said that we're not going to go crazy in free agency. I said we're going to make one move or two. Now I didn't think we were going to pay for a quarterback. I thought Tariq Woolen was going to get the bag. But, I'm glad we got Tariq Woolen. But everybody thinks, the Eagles are going to go crazy in free agency. We're going to get this guy. No, we're not. You know what I'm saying? But the reason why it doesn't go 90, and the thing is, you said they're going to listen to me. They ain't going to listen to me. I'm not popular YouTube. I don't dick ride with a lot of these Eagle contractors, and a lot of them don't like me because of the way I treat Boss Cowboy. I'm not the one that's going to tell you that Dak Prescott is a great quarterback. That ain't me. You know what I'm saying? Boss Cowboy blocked me because I called him an idiot on Twitter because he said stuff like, the Eagles defense is similar as the Cowboys defense. Really? You're trying to compare the Super Bowl defense to your defense because you got one player from the Jets who's never played in the playoff game. And he got mad at me. You know what I'm saying? But that's cool. These Cowboy fans out here putting shirts like Dak is the most respected quarterback. He's the most overrated quarterback, if you ask me. A $60 million bum who can't win in the playoffs, can't get past the second round, beat bum teams like the Buccaneers with a washed-up Tom Brady and a washed-up Russell Wilson. That literally the Cardinals won a game by scoring a field goal. It was 3-0, and they won by a field goal. Come on, what do we talk about? The Cardinals were literally the worst team, and they beat the Seahawks. That's how the Seahawks weren't the number one seed. And that's why they lost. They were playing the Cowboys in Dallas because how bad they were. The Legion of Boom was dead. They weren't the same. Earl Thomas went down with an injury. They weren't the same. Their pieces weren't great. But it is what it is, man. I digress. I'm just tired. I'm tired of these people saying my quarterback ain't this. We're going to find out. We're going to find out. And I always keep it real with you. Right? If Jalen Hurts plays like ass, I'm going to be the first one to tell you that. But I'm not going to be the one that's going to act like he can't develop. The man is only 27 years old. According to people, Justin Herbert's going to develop, and he's 29, going to be 20.
Successful 27-year-old at that.
Yeah, well, Justin Herbert's 28, so
can't say that for a lot of them.
Yeah,
can't say that for a lot.
Now, only certain quarterbacks allowed to develop. Jalen Hurts going to be what he is, according to a lot of people. But I at this point, man, should we care what these people have to say at this point? Because they show their true colors. They show their true colors.
I don't care at this point. They're all just a bunch of crying back and haters. And the quarterback, they hate on so much, it's already more successful.
Yeah.
Than their quarterbacks combined. So I don't give a damn what they got to say.
All they
do.
That
they're glazing.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
All them quarterbacks that they're glazing, Jalen Hurts got more rings than all of them combined. The only quarterback that has a right for everyone to respect is Patrick Mahomes. Mm-hmm. And everybody else, come on.
Yeah. Well, Well, it's interesting because these they keep saying when you bring up Super Bowl, oh well, Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl. It's like, bro, can you stop saying that, man? That gets annoying. That really does. It makes no sense, But they listen to these ESPN talking heads, man. Oh, Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl. Now it's the whole notion the Eagles might draft a quarterback in the second round. You got Lewis Riddick on ESPN saying the Eagles might draft a quarterback. The narrative between them trying to trade A.J. Brown and now they want to draft a quarterback. Like, Eagles always draft the quarterback. Howie Roseman has said it many times that they're a quarterback factory. They will draft a quarterback. They will draft a quarterback this year because they're not going to pay a backup a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? Andy Dalton is a depth piece. Tanner McKee has one more year. They might trade him before the season. You never know, especially in preseason. We've seen where quarterbacks get traded. You know what I'm saying? So they might draft a quarterback. I remember Eagle fans saying that Tracy McCornley, what's his name? The quarterback we drafted last year was going to replace Jalen Hurts. It didn't happen. So just because he drafted quarterback does not mean.
That was never the plan.
Yeah. But they over there talking about we should draft a quarterback. And why would we draft a quarterback in the second round? We're not drafting a quarterback in the second round, man. See, they're not drafting a quarterback. Like, everybody thinks we're going to replace Jalen Hurts so bad. They want to see Jalen Hurts fail so bad. They want him to fail. But it's funny, they'll link him to teams like the Steelers. They'll link him, they said we should trade him for C.J. Stroud. Why would I want C.J. Stroud? He came and won a freaking playoff game, and he had one of the best defense, and he literally strained their performances by throwing 5 interceptions against the worst team in the AFC that ever made the Super Bowl, and a rookie quarterback in Drake May and the Patriots. Mm-hmm. Like, come on, really? Like, he's one of the worst AFC quarterbacks I've ever seen. His pocket presence is horrible. I don't want anything with C.J. Stroud. I'm sorry. Like, but people want to bash Jalen Hurts. They want to say he's Justin Herbert 2.0. Not Justin Herbert. Justin Fields 2.0. It's ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous how people treat him, man. Why are you talking shit? You don't even know football. Well, I mean, the fact that you're here seems like I do know football. Mr. at Cam JXN 4D RGH, he said, why are you talking shit? You don't know who don't know football? But I mean, you're here, so I mean, what does that say about you? You're watching a guy that doesn't know football. Imagine watching a guy and putting your time and life and energy to troll someone who don't know football, but yet you're commenting. I mean,
what? That's the response. That's the response I love to hear. Go ahead. Go ahead and cook. My bad. Go ahead and cook. Go ahead and cook.
He said, where's your NFL contract? So because I don't have an NFL contract, I'm not allowed to talk football? So I don't know football because, these are the stupid stuff that I hear in the comments. Because I don't have an NFL contract, I'm not supposed to talk football? Is that what you're saying? Okay. Hit that like button, please. I appreciate you for commenting. If you're going to come in and talk crazy, at least hit that like button. You over there saying, where's your NFL contract? Because I don't play in the NFL. I'm not allowed to talk about football. That's dumb. That's really a stupid statement to say, but okay. It's whatever you think, man.
That's his way of coping. That sounds like a coping answer, honestly.
It sounds like his quarterback was talked about. He didn't like that. Were you a Justin Herbert fan, a Chargers fan? What team you root for? I bet you were a Cowboys fan. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. How did May made the Super Bowl before Jackson did? Well, Drake May had one of the easiest schedules. And I'm not taking anything away from Drake May because they said in 2022. Drake May made a Super Bowl before all these other quarterbacks. Yeah, but he didn't win it. It is what it is. He said, fair enough, I'll give it a like. You don't have to give it a like. You don't got to do whatever you want. You can troll all you want. You just got to be respectful with it. Only pocket presence you know about is your hand in your friend's back pocket. That's a good idea. We getting paid for this? I don't think we are. This guy said, what again? Hold on. You said, what again? You said, what? Only pocket presence you know about is your hand. Man, matter of fact, remove that like. I don't want anything to do with that, dude. He over there said, I give it a like. No, you don't got to give it a like, bro. Just go ahead and go about your day. You over there saying, only pocket presence you know about is your hand in your friend's back pocket. That's wild for you to say. That's crazy you would say that, man. Go ahead and take that like back, bro. I don't want nothing to do with that like. You don't have to like it. Put a dislike. You talk crazy, man. I changed my mind. Go ahead. go ahead, just leave, bro. We don't want like if you don't like what I have to say, then don't even buy a like and just leave, brother. You don't gotta be here. Don't put in the gun to your head. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. No, you don't gotta drop a like, bro. Like you don't gotta drop a like on me. No. We don't need your like, bro. Thank you very much, man. Cause I don't get paid for this, bro. This is off the top of my dome. There's no notes. I don't do no notes. This means that's Eagle 90, who's one of the best Eagles YouTubers, by the way. You better go do research on him and how many years he's been doing YouTube. He just doesn't do it that much because he's doing truck driving, man. At the end of the day, you know. But, you don't got to have a like or nothing. I don't give a damn what you do. You can take that like and you can do whatever you want with it. Put it in your back pocket like you said about me. Because I don't know who you think you are. She said drop the note like. You don't got to drop nothing. Drop a dislike. I don't care. I don't get paid for this. I'm not mad one bit. You know what I'm saying? You're over there salty and you say, why I talking shit? Why are you talking shit? You don't even know football, but yet you're giving me a like. So, I mean, at this point, bro, it's like, I'm just asking real quick. Does YouTube pay you to troll? How much do they pay, though? Because at this point, I'm starting to think, does YouTube allow people to troll? Do they pay you to troll? That's number one. How much you get?
If anything, you're helping the content creator. You're putting the content creator out there. More views and everything, engagement.
Hey. I appreciate the like, though. I mean, you didn't have to like. Don't hit the like button, man. You can hit the dislike button for all I care.
They probably really didn't, but not that they really care, though.
I mean, over there, critics. Let me get all my friends to like, too. You don't got to do nothing. No, you said I don't know football. Why are you getting all your friends to like me? I mean...
No, I think I know where that's going. I know exactly where that's going.
I just think it's interesting. The comment said earlier, I don't know football. He said my pocket presence is being in the back pocket. Pretty much, I'm getting money for this. I don't get paid for this. You know what I'm saying? I don't even get paid on YouTube for this. You know what I'm saying? Do you think Terry Tingle going to make an impact? I don't know who that is, bro. If you're trying to be funny, you got one more warning before I send you to the time check. Because I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to do what you did when Joe Shakes and 500, where you're trying to make inappropriate jokes. I don't do that here. So be careful what you say. Hi, I'm Jacob. I'm 22. I've been diagnosed with cancer. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. A few weeks later, I was forced to amputate my leg. BKA. Is this a troll job? I hope not. If it's not, I want to give my condolences out and prayers to you.
If he's trolling, you shouldn't be trolling about cancer and everything. Like, you're going to spend your last moments trolling while you're on, like...
Yeah, well, this is what he said.
Trolling shit too far.
I mean, you read it. You want to read this, Dazzy Gonani? So, maybe...
Well, I can't because I'm kind of in the middle of the
Okay, so this is what he said. This if you see the comment, it's right here. Hi, I'm Jacob. I'm 22. I've been diagnosed with cancer. A few weeks later, I was forced to amputate my left leg. Oh, that's tough, man. I'm sorry to hear that. Hopefully, you're not trolling.
Yeah, I'm really sorry to hear that.
Now I'm going around a bunch of lives of asking what the hardest thing you've been through. Well, nothing like cancer, man. You know what I'm saying? I hope you're not trolling, but if you're for real, man, my prayers out to you, man, and I hope that no one goes through that, especially amputating a leg, man. That's tough, bro. Nothing like cancer, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. Everybody is. I think probably depression. Maybe I go through a little bit. Where I've been in dark clouds sometimes over me with going through things, but nothing like cancer, man. I want to wish my condolences, though, bro. Hopefully you get better, man, and I hope you bounce back, bro. Yeah. I'm sorry to hear that.
I do want to apologize. The troll guy that said he had cancer, so my apologies. But I do want to send my thoughts and prayers, and I hope everything works out well. I just want to say fuck cancer.
Yeah.
Cancer go fuck themselves, and yeah, man, I hope everything works out, though. I'm really sorry you're going through that.
Okay, well, I mean, yeah. He said, I'm just looking for guidance, not troll here. I'm sorry to hear that, man. If we can all put some prayers in the comment section for him, man, tell him to get better. Put some prayers in the comment section for him. I appreciate you for coming and telling us that, because it got to be hard to tell people that. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be the one telling people that, but I appreciate you for telling me that. And, I hope that you get better, man, and we're rooting you, dude. Hopefully you're not trolling, but if you're not trolling, then I want to Oh, I'm about to time you out. My fault. That wouldn't have been good. Wouldn't have been a good look. Um, I'm trying to make you my moderator. Are we? Are you my moderator already? I think I put you in as a moderator. So yeah, you're probably one of my moderators already. So yeah, but yeah, I hope it gets better, bro. I really do, Jacob. I really do, man. And put some prayers in the comment section for him, man. Cancer is something that has been going through a lot of families. It's been torn a lot of families apart. It's devastating. It is, and you don't know when you have it. You just got to make sure you get physical therapy. I'm sorry, not physical therapy. Physical doctor checks every time. Go to the doctors. Make sure you eat healthy. Um, be careful what you eat sometimes, and exercise. Exercise is very important. You know, say exercising is one of the best things. Yeah. So yeah, but I appreciate.
We live in sad times, man.
Mm-hmm.
We really live in sad times where we can't even tell if some stuff is real or not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know.
There are trolls on here that be faking their dads, they be faking their parents' deaths, and saying this and that. It really makes it so difficult for the real ones that goes through it. And then now it's like when someone else says it, it's like, man, I hope you're not lying. You feel me? It's just.
I mean, a lot of people lie.
It's really sad times. Yeah. But I do want to say, man, my thoughts and prayers out to you, bro. And I'm so sorry, and I thank you for telling me stuff.
Yeah.
For real.
No, I mean, that's perfect. And if we could put some prayers in the comment section, that'd be great, man. Shout out to Jacob for telling us that, man. And like I said, bro, whoever is going through that, I wish you nothing but the best. We're all rooting for you, praying for you out here. And, yeah, man, at the end of the day, you know, people do go through things, whether I've never been through that. Only thing I've been through is depression. You know, so yeah, I mean, that's the hardest thing for your question that I want me to ask. The only thing I've been through is depression. You know, maybe I've been through some things, but nothing like that. I would never want to wish that on my worst enemy at all. Just look for guidance, no troll here. I appreciate that, bro. And I'm not accusing you of faking cancer. That's not what I'm saying, man. But a lot of you do fake things, you know. So yeah, I appreciate you for telling me, man. And if you're serious, I'm sorry to hear that, dude. I hope it gets better. I don't want people to compare. Okay. I'll only tell people in hope of them sharing their personal battles. Like I said, I go through depression. Like that is one thing. My grandma had it. I have it. That's why I try to go outside and go to the gym a lot to get away from depression. Cause you know, you never know. You never know what people go through. So yeah, man. That's the only thing I could say. I don't really go through that much. Like nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? That's a different ball game that I hope I don't go through. You know? He said, you want me to remove? No, don't remove him. No, don't remove the guy that, you mean the guy that was talking about the like button? No, don't remove him. No, I just thought it was funny how this guy was saying that, you know, I don't know nothing about football, but gives me a like. You know, and I appreciate that, but it's like at the end of the day, you don't got to give me a like button at all. I don't care what you do. Like, I don't do this for money. I don't get paid off this. And if I did get paid off this, I would make sure whoever I make money off would go to that family, or I would go to my platform to help y'all get better content. I don't do this. I would not pay, like, because some people get money and they go and buy groceries. I wouldn't do that. I think that's greedy to me. You know what I'm saying? Now, you know, so yeah, that's how I look at it. I don't want to get paid off people's, I don't know. I'm just not the type of person I want to get paid off. But, you know, it is what it is.
Huge lot is filled with solar panels.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
He said, what's this guy say? This guy's deleted. I don't know why he's deleted. He said, you don't know shit about football. You and Desi Gonadi are saying same stuff. This is why. First of all, man, who the hell is you, number one? Number two, I like how someone said I don't know football.
What do you mean you're saying the same stuff? I don't even be on here like that. What's this dude talking about? Who is he?
Hey, these people, bro. If we don't know about football, then explain me why you're here. You know what I'm saying? Because if you click the button and you're watching for a few seconds, I mean, you must like something about us. You know, I don't know what it is. I mean, the football knowledge.
Just ignore that dude, man. He just wants your attention. That's all
I know. And I give it to him sometimes because I got time today. I got time today. Listen, the chosen out there, you're not doing something right.
You're giving enough attention. I mean, when you say some absurd stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
you feel me? Knowing and you know for a fact it's not true. I mean, he's saying that I say the same stuff, but I have been active
Yeah.
when it came to Eagles football this off season. I don't even know the guy, but he seems to be knowing me. I mean, I appreciate it, but you know, it is what it is, though.
Yeah. No, I get it. No, we got 3 people in the chat. Hit that like button, surprise. Oh, that was my alarm. Sorry, that was loud as hell. I just want to hear your story. I mean, I just told you, I go through depression. Nothing like cancer, though, bro. Like I said, I hope and I pray for you, man. You know, because I hope no one goes through that, honestly. Someone in the comment, who's this? I don't know. Like I said, man, we're gonna get close to April. I don't know what Des and I'm gonna do on his draft day. But I'm trying to see if we can all, like, I don't know with this thing. I might have to watch it on my computer, but I'm trying to see if we can do something where we can watch it together. You know, something like Eagle Contras watch it together. You know, but the problem is like everybody wants to do it on their own channels and stuff like that. You know, obviously, you know. So we're gonna see what happens with that, man. Yeah, I mean, we've been talking for a while. We talked about the draft. We talked about the things that have been happening. AJ Brown, Diane Rossini resigning from Athletic. She'd been suspended. She resigned.
Wait a minute. Did we ever talk about the fact that that bitch resigned? Did you ever break that recently?
I did not break that down. I know she just resigned yesterday.
I said it yesterday.
Yeah, she resigned yesterday.
Say, nah. Hey, goodbye. Hit the road, bitch. Don't you ever come back. No more. Fuck that bitch. That's what the fuck she get. And you know what, man? You know what? You know this. Ever since that bitch stepped down, it's been quiet.
Yeah.
The talks about AJ Brown. Now everybody's trying to say, well, it's likely. Well, let me change it right quick. Hold on. Wow. See, AJ Brown's not going to get traded if I draft him. All of a sudden, he's not going anywhere. So Diane Rossini was your main source. Ever since that bitch stepped down, now all of a sudden, y'all don't think AJ Brown's going anywhere? He never was. And us Eagles fans tried to tell y'all. Me, Ec1, Joey, Bronson.
Well, no. Joey,
trying to tell y'all.
Joey's on the fence. I don't know if he can speak for himself, but he thinks AJ Brown's going to be back.
I understand why he's on the fence. You know, and I tried to explain to him as well. Although he knows this shit very well. He doesn't, but still. He's not. The Tavion Wicks is not replacing AJ Brown.
No, I think he's Jahan Doxson's
AJ Brown. He does not have the numbers to replace AJ Brown. No. He's a wide receiver 3 at best. Hollywood Brown would be better off replacing AJ Brown, but Hollywood Brown is always hurt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's just not going to happen.
And you got to also look at the system that Sean Mannion has. I mean, he uses a lot of wide receivers in different situations. You know, that's what Green Bay is good at. Running the football, using wide receivers in great positions in different routes and combinations. You know, that's what he does well. You know, he uses that West Coast McVay offense. You know, what does McVay like doing? Creating offenses for his quarterback to recognize and get the ball out quickly. You know, design routes. I'm sorry, not design routes. Cross routes, drag routes. Jet sweeps, curl routes, all these other things. Slants. Stop and go. All these other routes that we have not seen when Kevin Batula was off corner. We're going to see that a lot, and I'm excited. You know, putting Jalen Hurts more under center and using his legs. You know, that was the one thing we haven't seen last year and we haven't seen in a while was Jalen Hurts using his legs. You know, we're all for going for a tush push and stuff. We have a guy that can use his legs that can pick up yardage. You know, but we want to worry about him not getting hurt and stuff like that. And it's like you can't worry about that when you pay a quarterback. The risk comes with that. You know. You know, but we play scared with him, and I feel like we did that with McNabb. You know, McNabb used to be a big running quarterback. You know, he used to use his legs, and then ever since he got hurt, Andy Reid wanted to take away his legs and make him a pass and quarterback, and I think that hurt them. You know, Carson Wentz, same thing. You know, he ended up getting hurt the worst way, but it's like Jalen Hurts. I mean, you know, when he uses his legs and when he's able to be comfortable in the system that he's good at, and that is being on the center. Like his best thing is being on the center. He's one of the best quarterbacks being on the center, and we like to put him in shotgun, and I don't understand it. That's why I get frustrated with Nick a lot, man. I mean, you see a quarterback struggling on this. I mean, he's in shotgun every single time. How many times we see he's in shotgun? He's in shotgun. You know, put him on the center. And when he was on the center, what happens? Devontae touchdown. AJ touchdown. Dallas got a touchdown. Saquon for some yardage. You know what I'm saying? Touchdown probably, you know? But it's like, you know, these routes were horrible. And they took too long to develop. So I think that with Sean Mann, I think Sean Mann's going to shock a lot of people. I'm telling you right now, he's going to be the same thing what Shane Steichen was, even better. I think so. Yeah, I mean, I want to see what the Eagles. I want to see what the Eagles do in draft day. I mean, like I said, if we draft a receiver in the first round, then you know maybe the A.J. Brown does go, but I don't think we're going to draft a receiver.
Maybe that does determine. I feel like I mean, I feel like that's going to say it right there. That's definitely going to say it. Like I don't see. Other than that, it's just there's literally little to no reason to be drafting a wide receiver in the first round. If that does happen though, then I guess it is. That's when it's officially time to panic and say, you know, well, A.J. Brown, thank you for your time here in Philly. It is what it is. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But that's when it's going to be the time we're going to have to prepare ourselves.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell you right now, the last 5 to 10 seconds, hold your breath. Because a lot of people is going to go bonkers. Hold your breath. Mm-hmm. It's going to be like one of those, you're going to hear your heartbeat. It's like the end of the world. Like the decision is going to change everything.
Yeah. Well, I'm not mute the draft because all they're going to talk about is A.J. Brown, man. When we pick in the draft, they're going to say, does the Eagles draft receiver here or should they go safety? Oh, we know A.J. Brown might be traded. I'm going to mute. I swear I'm going to mute the whole draft as they pick, man. Because I'm not, especially with Rich Eisen, and you know these clowns on the NFL, they're going to be high up on, is the Eagles going to draft a receiver? Are they going to draft this guy? Are they going to trade A.J. Brown in draft day? And they're going to continue to talk about it constantly. When the Patriots pick, they're going to definitely talk about A.J. Brown. It's ridiculous, man. I'm tired of it, bro. Like, go trade for George Pickens in Dallas, man. Leave us alone. There's other receivers, bro. There's other receivers. Are you telling me you wouldn't take? I thought George Pickens was better than A.J. Brown. Why is he not getting trade interest? That's what I thought. But you know, I digress. At the end of the day, man. Like I'm whether what A.J. Brown is or if he's on his team or not, I'm still an Eagles fan at the end of the day.
Well, I'm sorry to cut you off, but
go ahead.
It's not going to be George Pickens. It was originally about CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
When they say that CeeDee Lamb didn't want to be part of Dallas anymore or like that, some along the lines, why is nobody targeting him like they're targeting, you know, A.J. Brown? I think CeeDee Lamb's a damn good wide receiver.
Yeah.
He's an amazing wide receiver, even though he's a Dallas Cowboy, you know, always fucked the Cowboys. But as time goes by, I learned to give respect where he's doing. CeeDee Lamb is definitely, what the hell's going on? Sorry, somebody was blasting the horn and shit.
Probably a Cowboys fan.
You know, probably a Cowboys fan.
Probably saw your bumper sticker.
You know what? That reminds me. I'm going to start this trend. I'm gonna have my head sticking. I'm gonna get one of those vinyls of me. You know what I did? Y'all still the boys. I always put my hand out and everything. I'm gonna put that on the back of my windshield. On the lines, just checking to see if y'all still them boys.
Yeah.
I'm about to take Troll to a whole new level.
Bro, did you see the Washington Commanders' new uniform too? They've been changing their uniforms ever since they changed their logo, man. They're changing their uniforms, man. It ain't gonna help them win.
It's against hell.
They're just gonna lose more.
This is a W with a spear on it. That's all it is.
I love how they think they're going to win more games. You got Commander fans saying, this is going to be the greatest uniform. Y'all ain't going to win nothing.
Right? Ain't gonna win y'all nothing. Get a new stadium.
They should just
Y'all
change your
talking
name
about
back to the
uniforms?
Respectfully, they should just change your name back to the Redskins, man. You out here changing uniforms like the Washington Redskins uniforms where they were before. You out here, you should just change your name back to the Redskins at this point, bro. Like you've been trying to change your name for many years, man. Like, come on. I miss calling you the Deadskins.
Such an embarrassment of a franchise. I feel like I could say. I mean, I'm going to respect legends, so I'll say this. I feel sorry for all the legends that's put all their time, their blood, sweat, and tears for that franchise. They've made so many unnecessary changes that they've become easily forgotten.
Yeah.
Like, bro.
They're disgraceful. They're disgraceful. They haven't won nothing, and they over there on Twitter laughing at us because we might lose A.J. Brown. Ain't gonna help you. You still got Devontae Smith that can cook y'all.
Y'all, like, they about to lose Terry McLaurin. What are they talking about? They worry about us. They about to lose Terry McLaurin.
They might not even have a quarterback.
Daniels ain't, like, he still hurt?
He's injured prone.
What y'all worry about us for? Huh?
Like, I'm sorry, what did they do in the free agency that really improved them? Nothing.
Nothing.
They gotta have. They're hoping.
They sign a bunch of Band-Aids.
They're hoping Caleb Downs from Ohio State, a rookie safety, is going to help them. Along with the Giant fans, they think our safety is going to help them. Come on, man. You got Cowboy fans actually thinking the rookie linebacker or rookie safety is going to help them. They're hoping that Christian Park is going to help them a lot. Like, they're hoping that the defense is going to be good enough, and they forgot the quarterback got to play. Got to play in the playoffs.
I would say the Cowboys have always done what they've done. But the Giants, how do you sign a head? How do you hire a head coach and the first thing he's talking about is beating the Eagles? Like, shouldn't the first thing you worry about is winning the division? Is winning another Super Bowl?
Mm-hmm.
They worried about us.
Yeah, did you see how the Baltimore players respect? Yeah, and you got the Baltimore players out here. They're actually training. They didn't train when John Harbaugh was there. So that just shows me their head coach wasn't as much of a leader like they think. I think it's going to destroy the line. I don't think John's going to win that many games with John Harbaugh. I don't. I think they got another version of. I don't know if you remember the head coach. Do you remember the head coach? What was the head coach that someone brought back? What was it? It's like equivalent to hire Mike McCarthy. That's what it's equivalent to. A guy that is equivalent to hiring Mike McCarthy. I think John's hired a Mike McCarthy. I think Mike Tomlin would have been a better head coach than Mike McCarthy. I mean, John Harbaugh. Just saying.
Yeah, I would have been. I've been concerned. I mean, see what goes in Baltimore though. Apparently, a lot happened there where John Harbaugh had little to no control. Perhaps you're right. Now think about it. He had that Jason Garrett treatment low key.
Yeah. I mean, he hasn't done
Jason Garrett treatment. He had no control. He was just there to smile, clap his hands, and yeah. Maybe that was John Harbaugh's situation in Baltimore.
Yeah.
But like, how long he's been with Baltimore though? What's the problem now? All of a sudden.
And then they hire Matt Nagy as their offensive coordinator in New York. Come on, man. Matt Nagy is their offensive coordinator for the Giants.
They were laughing. They were literally laughing at us.
Yeah.
For even bringing that guy in as an offense coordinator. They were laughing at not bringing him in, not. Well, maybe let's say
no, bring him in. Yeah, they were laughing at us along with
as an offense coordinator
or Mike Kafka. That was another one. You know what I'm saying? We almost got Mike. I would have been pissed if Mike Kafka was our offense coordinator because the guy was horrible.
You don't like Mike Kafka?
No, I don't like Mike Kafka. No, look, did you see him Hard Knocks trying to? Yeah, guys, we gotta go fucking. He was like Kevin Patullo. I don't want nothing to do with that dude. I don't like his attitude. No, I think it would be a disaster. I like Sean. I like Sean Maine. I think that guy that no one knows about is going to come in there and it's going to shock a lot of people. You know, so I'm excited for Sean Maine. I think Sean Maine's going to get the best out of Jalen Hurts. I think he's going to have an MVP year. He's not going to get the MVP because he's going to go to Joshy Boy in Buffalo or someone like Lamar Jackson or Justin Herbert. But, I think Jalen's going to go off and going to have a great year, and I think he's going to go back to Super Bowl winning. That's my prediction. People say it's too early. I already know who my quarterback is. We've seen him with two good offensive coordinators. If we could stay healthy and we get this draft right and we have a good off season, then, it's a good draft day and we're healthy through the training camp and we're starting off beautifully as a healthy team in the regular season, we'll be fine. We just got to stay healthy and we got to have great coaching. And we have great coaching, a healthy offense, and a player stay healthy, and a quarterback is out here doing what he's supposed to do, then we'll be all right. I don't care how many yards Jalen Hurts throws the ball. As long as you win the game, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? But I'm sorry, but I think this is the offense where I think Jalen's going to put up everybody say he can't throw these yards. I think it's going to be the first time people are going to see him do it. And I know he can do it. I think Nick has been holding him back. And we've seen it. We've seen the potential he can do when he has an offensive coordinator. We've seen the numbers he put up in 2022. We're not going to deny those numbers that he can throw the ball. He can make those throws that they say he cannot do, as these other quarterbacks can do. So I'm excited. I think Sean Man's going to put everybody on notice. Hey, I'm going to come in there. And I think it's going to be a situation where I think Nick Sirianni's going to be the forcefully going to be let go, and we're going to make him the head coach. Because I think Sean Mann, if he goes out there and does what he needs to do, and he goes out there and he's successful, I think that you have to make Sean Mann, you can't let him go. Because then what are you going to do? Bring another offensive coordinator in there? No, man, I can't do that. But the way the Eagles been looking at it, I think Sean Mann's going to be our head coach the next 2 years, and I'm cool with that. Because I've been saying I think you need an offensive mind head coach that could be our head coach down the road. But it's going to be interesting what the Eagles do, man. I'm excited. I'm excited, man. But you got anything else to add, man?
No, I ain't got much else to add. None at all.
Yep, so this is the Does Eagle 90 Ec1.
How we feeling about, how we...
Go ahead.
Wait a minute, how we feeling about Big Fangio? Even though he's going to stay for one more year, but...
I'm glad that he's back. I was not okay with Jonathan Gannon coming back. I'm glad he's the Packers defense coordinator. He get to go to Green Bay. So I'm happy Vic Fangio is going to be back. I think Vic Fangio is going to be great. I think we're going to go and we're going to be great on defense. I can see us going safety in the first round. I can see that Toledo safety, man. I really do. I can see him being an Eagle. But if Caleb Downs can fall to the Eagles somehow, man. You got to draft him. You got to draft him. But I just don't want him to go to the Giants, man. I don't want him to go to the Giants or the Washington Commanders, man. Because they ruin players every time. They ruin players. They don't know how to develop players. But it is what it is. We're going to see what happens, though. We're going to see what happens, man. We're going to see what happens. Y'all hit that like button. Appreciate y'all for coming on. We're going to do more of this. We'll figure out. But, yeah. Call this the EC1 Desi Go 90 phone talk with birds. You know what I'm saying? Because he'd be working, so it's like you really can't get him on the live stream usually.
I want to say salute to her.
Go ahead.
Everybody, man. Much love. Fuck all the haters.
Go ahead. We can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right, yeah. Yeah, fuck all the haters. Go Birds. Dallas still sucks.
Hurts all day, every day. Yes, sir.
Hurt season, baby.
Go Birds, they can.
You already know. Fly goes fly. Hey, yeah, man. Appreciate y'all for coming. As always, go Birds. Fly goes fly. And I'm out. Hopefully this audio of Des Eagle 90, you can hear him too. Hopefully it's not muffling. I try my best to keep it where you can hear him. We'll see, though. But if not, it is what it is. Y'all know that we were trying our best to keep it, we try to do something new, man. But yeah, man, we're going to have more hopefully down the road. And yeah, man, go Birds, fly goes fly. And I'm out. Till next time.